Greetings, beloved. This is part 6 of our spiritual warfare, Ephesians 6:12, and we're proceeding from where we left off. This is part 6. So let's open to 2 Corinthians 10, verse 3 to 5. Verse 3 says, "For though we live in the world, we do not wage war as the world does. For the weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds." Verse 5. "We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God." This verse is talking most about what you hear even when you are praying. Sometimes you be saying, "I'm praying for something." I keep hearing voices that saying that this is not going to happen. And sometimes this voice it sounds as if they are in you, but that's not your voice. When you are praying and you have hope about something, but when you begin to pray, you feel like this is not going to happen. That's not you. But because we haven't been praying enough, or we haven't been asking God for the gift of discernment, you might even think, I'm in two places. I have faith and I have unbelief. No, we have to keep on reading the word and pray for discernment so you can get more clarity, so you'll be able to understand that this negative thinking, that's not mine. I am a changed being. I'm born of the Spirit. We are not who we used to be. So that's why when we engage more in the Word of God, we learn how to fight back the right way, not in just any way and not just shooting anything. And we have no idea what's going to happen when you just put things, when you're just shooting anything there. When you get the scriptures and you pray about the circumstances that you are facing and you're praying for the freedom, and you find scriptures related to that circumstance. If you want to pray for your healing, you have to find verses related to healing and you pray for your healing. You want to pray for whatever that you want, you have to find related scriptures that you will have to use for your circumstance. And now we have Google. You can check whether it's Chrome, whatever that you are using. It's Opera Mini. You just find whatever search engine that you have and you type what you want to find. If you are looking for verses of hope, you search them. Whatever verses that you want, you find them. When you get those verses, now it's time to study them and get them in your heart. Once you get those verses in your heart, now you are able to receive, because it's not just in the head. When it's in the head, it's not going to work. That's why somebody be saying, "I've been quoting this verse over and I'm sick." No, you have to get the word in your spirit. Once it gets in the spirit, that's where you will see results, because you believe it. You have to allow it to come to you to a point that you're going to see results because you are one with the word. You agree with the word. Now you know that when I speak it, it's going to happen because you are in faith. You have accepted the word. You agree with it. Now, being in faith requires commitment and growing. So if you're in a church, you need to commit to church. You have to read the word and you have to ask your pastor questions. If you want to grow, you have to be asking your pastor some questions. If you are shy, you need to find some way. Maybe getting your pastor's number and then you can WhatsApp your pastor asking some questions. You need to ask questions, especially if you really, really want to grow and you don't want to depend on someone all the time. From time to time, yes, we do need help from our sisters, our brothers, our pastors, but have the desire to grow. You don't always have to pray to ask them. You don't always have to ask them, "Please pray for me. Please pray for me." When you grow and you grow a lot and you get used to praying for yourself, your pastors will even notice that it has been a while you haven't been asking for prayers. And then they will start looking and then they see you growing. And it's great to see that someone is really growing. They have been listening to the word of God. So if you do even have questions for me, I am more interested. I'm willing to respond. I'm willing to hear from you, because I really struggled with some spiritual attacks when I was young. Serious stuff, things that were scary. I would see things and I would see people in my room. And when you turn on the lights, I couldn't see them. And I was young by that time. I almost lost my mind. But as I was growing up, I had some also nightmares. And then I'm saying nightmares. This is not just some nightmares that are pretty small. These were pretty scary things that I was seeing. This was definitely evil stuff. Sometimes I would open my eyes and still see the things right in the room. And so it required Jesus, like real serious work in the spirit, So if someone has some stuff that are really, really scaring them off, things that don't want to leave you, maybe it's your body, maybe there's something, maybe you feel there's something in you, inside of you, and you know that thing was not supposed to be there. Maybe there's something in your head, whatever problem that you have. The most big thing that we can give as the children of God or servants of God is to teach you deliverance, to preach deliverance more than praying for you. Because when you finally know what to do, you will be able to do that for yourself. You'll be able to pray. You'll be able to receive your breakthrough. You don't always have to ask for prayers. You will know what you were supposed to do. Because for years, I struggled and struggled and struggled. The day I gave my life to Jesus Christ, there were some things that left, but because I didn't know anything about spiritual warfare, so when those attacks came, I had no idea what I was supposed to do, and I struggled big time. But the moment I started learning about spiritual warfare, I decided to fully commit because I have to stand my ground. I mean, you have to know that, challenges that we faced as people are not the same. The problems that we faced as human beings were really not the same. So if you see that you feel like your crisis is too much, you don't have to look at someone else and look at you. Like they prayed for 3 days and they had their breakthrough. They prayed for 2 days and you are not them, honey. You have to look at Jesus and you have to stand. You have to be persistent. When I'm saying yes for my life, I mean exactly what I say. It was long. It took me years to fully say, I'm free. There was even something in my belly. I could feel it move. And it was scaring me because that thing was living inside of me. And for a long time. And I was not free. So it took Jesus Christ to help me to get that thing out of my body by taking authority. I was learning so much, but I didn't have the faith in me to get that thing out. But once you get the word and you read, and fully commit and say, I'm going to stand my ground. I'm willing to learn and grow. I want to see the results. Because when you say, I'm going to take responsibility for my life, I'm not going to always reach out to my pastor. I don't mind really actually talking to pastors and stuff, but it was the faith I had in Jesus that had to set my life free. And then, when I had the truth and I received the truth, I was in the room that day when that thing left my body because God that day spoke to me and said, take authority against that thing. It was for years. Pastors tried so much praying for that thing, trying to get it off my body. And it didn't leave, not because they didn't have power. God had to talk to me so that stronghold has to die. Because when you have the stronghold, they can say fire, whatever, we cast you out, what? And some people can even think that they don't have power, these people. But once God helps you to get rid of that stronghold that keeps telling you that they cannot take this thing out because they are busy fighting and sweating, forgetting the part that you have a mind as well. You need to agree with them. And my mind was like, nah, this is not happening. But the moment where God was helping my mind to fully get this into my spirit and agreeing, and I was with myself right there. I was with God that day. I was sitting on the couch and I was just watching some testimonies, people talking about what God has done for them. I was like, I was just watching for the sake of watching anyway. I didn't even think God was going to help me that day to cast that thing out of my belly. And that day, responded. I was just like Peter, just saying, I'm going to do it anyway. I've been praying for this thing. It was not living. They prayed for it. It did not live. So I just take authority as God said, and I proclaim the word of God. I use Luke 10, verse 19. I proclaim the power. I just decreed and declare and rebuke that thing out of me. You see? So after saying that, that thing was gone, and I mean gone, and I'm free, completely free. And I asked God, why didn't they cast that thing out of me? And he said, you had strongholds. You see, I was ready to blame pastors for this. But God had to make me see that it was your mind that has to change. So if you have any questions, you may reach out. I'm willing to hear from you. God bless you. God keep you. May he shine his face upon you. I love you. Take care. Bye. Mwah.